This is the gem-studded puffball growing here in an open meadow. Puffballs have their spores inside. They don't have gills like some mushrooms, or even pores or holes underneath. And you see 4 of them clustered together here. Let's take a look at them. They are round. They have just about no stem. And this particular species of puffball is fairly small, never gets more than this big. And it has little spines on it. That's why it has the name gem-studded puffball. When you find a puffball, they usually come out in the fall, sometimes in the spring. You cut it in half, which is what we're going to do here. You open it up and look inside. If it's white and soft, like cream cheese, and this certainly is, then you have an edible puffball. If it's yellow inside, that means the inner part of the puffball is turning into spores. The spores will allow the mushroom to reproduce. The mature puffball explodes in a puff of spores, and the spores fly through the air and produce more puffballs. So if it's yellow inside, it's starting to become filled with spores. When it's black inside, the spores are mature. You cannot eat it then. It'll make you throw up or give you diarrhea. You eat it when it's pure white inside. There are amanita mushrooms which can be poisonous, which have stem and gills inside where the mushroom has not opened yet. Amanitas, when they're very young, superficially look like puffballs, but when you cut them open, there are little stems, there's a little stem and gills inside, and that can be poisonous. You want the puffball to be white inside and soft like cream cheese, or for you vegetarians, white and soft inside like tofu. And I'm going to pick these puffballs. There are different species. Some grow the size of beach balls. I'm going to pick these and use them in our next recipe shoot, possibly. Here we have our gem-studded puffballs growing in what's called a fairy ring pattern. Notice that they are describing a circle all around this field. Beautiful little circle here. And I'm right in the middle of it. People didn't understand what caused fairy rings to pop up almost overnight in past centuries, so they thought fairies came and danced with elves and goblins and other supernatural creatures in the night. What's actually happening is the mushroom part that you don't see, the part that's growing underground, is decomposing dead organic material, recycling it, and as it does that, it takes nutrients out of the soil. So over here, for example, there's no grass growing because there's no nutrients left in the soil. When it rains, the mushroom that you see comes up to produce its spores, and that's already there in a very tiny form before the rain, but it expands like a water balloon after the rain and pops up overnight. Every year, in search of more nutrients, the fairy ring expands outward a little. And this is quite a large fairy ring. This must be about 5-10 years old, I would guess. And when you pick the fairy ring mushrooms, they just grow back the following year. These are delicious, as long as they're pure white inside. Notice the fairy ring, the puffballs, when they are too old, are full of spores. Here's an old one, and you can see the spores coming out. The Indians used these spores to stop bleeding. I tried that once on a kitchen cut, and the cut just bled and bled and bled. So I don't know if that works. You don't want to breathe in these spores because they can irritate your throat. But as you can see, each puffball has quite a lot of spores, and maybe there will be new fairy rings in future years. Here you see a mature gem-studded puffball, and you can't eat it anymore. It's full of spores. There go the spores. Hopefully new mushrooms will grow. The Indians used the spores to stop bleeding, and I tried it on a cut I got in the kitchen. Didn't seem to work. What you don't want to do is breathe in these spores. They can irritate your throat. A lot of new mushrooms could come up from these spores.
But you can make up your own mind. Now, if you'd like to learn more about edible wild plants, you can certainly check out my website, get my books signed by me. Otherwise, Jeff Bezos gets to take another trip into space at my expense. And you can buy my foraging course, Foraging with the Wild Man and Violet, from my website. It's $100. You have that on Google Drive forever, and it saves you a lot of money. As you keep learning the plants, your grocery bills go down. You get incredibly nutritious, tasty herbs, greens, fruits, berries, nuts, roots, and seeds, and once you learn them, you will know them forever. So here is a trailer, and again, you can pay me on Venmo or Zelle, and include that you're buying the video course and your email address, and then you'll get it forever on Google Drive. Take a look at the trailer, and take a look at my website, and if you're in the area, come on some of my foraging tours.
Hi, I'm Wildman Steve Brill.
And I'm Violet Brill.
And we're going to be teaching you about foraging. There are hundreds of very delicious common renewable plants that you can identify with 100% certainty that is necessary.
And you can use them to cook with and to eat, or you can use them for...
First thing we look at is poison ivy, so you can avoid it. We also do lots of very good healthy recipes.
Rain mill. I also just turned on the oven and set it on 375 degrees. And here's Wisteria the parakeet, who likes to help me cook but can't go in the kitchen because it's not safe for birds. But this is not in the kitchen.
This is called lemon balm. Lemon balm's a type of mint. It has scalloped edges, has fuzzy hairs on the leaf stalks and on the stem. It has leaves that are opposite from each other, so they're directly across from each other, and then they alternate directions.
This is my pen and ink drawing of wild watercress, showing what it looks like in the... Hey, this is Wildman Steve Brill, and I'm going to be making stick pudding. Here are the sticks. Probably without the airspace, about 1 cup of black birch liquid.
And at this time of year, it has gone to have a large stem. It's no longer in a basal rosette. The leaves come out from the stem. They're much larger and much more wavy. It's still bitter, and the only good thing you can do with the leaves now is make them into chips, like kale chips, with a sweeter spread on it.
So this recipe made 3 cups of pesto, and it'll last for quite a few days in the refrigerator, and it freezes really well too. Very delicious. You've got to try it. We're going to look at the common dandelion, one of the most familiar edible wild plants. Wisteria, I'm going to tell you a story. On March 29th, 1986, I was leading a foraging tour in Central Park looking for plants. But there were already 2 plants on the tour, undercover agents, a man and a woman. They said they were married, they never kissed or held hands, so I figured they'd been married a long time.
The man kept taking pictures, and I hold up the specimens. Yeah, so we could get good shots of the specimen, only I was the specimen. At the end of the tour, I showed people you could eat the dandelion. I ate one leaf of the dandelion, and this is 4 p.m., March 29th, 1986. The male ranger ducked behind a tree. Took out a hidden walkie-talkie. There he is on 81st Street. Go get him. Every park ranger in New York City jumped out from behind the bushes. They surrounded me in case I was going to climb up a tree, put me in handcuffs lest I bop them on the head with the dandelion point. I was in front pages of newspapers around the country. I got calls from radio shows, even the BBC in London.
The coronavirus strike is in its 5th week, and in New York City, they arrested the wild men of Central Park for eating a dandelion.
Don't eat lily of the valley, even if it's growing on the side of a mountain. These are the seeds of garlic mustard, quite delicious and spicy, but be very careful when you pick them not to let them fall on the ground, especially if you're Catholic. You're not supposed to spill your seeds. These are mulberries which you shake off the tree over a drop cloth and get a great harvest. Shake that thing, wild man, shake that thing.
But this isn't really bad for a small amount of work, and if you repeat this under a tree that has lots of low-hanging branches, you can get gallons of berries. Be careful not to eat too many June berries. You can die of happiness.
I'm dying of happiness. When you're cleaning out the seaweed, we're trying to watch for shells. Look, this one is a very good example. It's a big shell. There are 2 of them. Watch out for more than one of them. And they have legs. And they're crawling. Watch out for shells.
That's all.